Okay, good morning guys and God bless us all. Ngayon is Sunday, no? Today is Sunday and it's January 12, 12 ngayon ng Enero, no? 2025. Now, so this is your host, no? Dr. Rico J. TV. And we're going to talk about good governance, no? Itong topic natin regarding us as the constituent, no? Constituent of the Republic of the Philippines, no? As the constituent of the Republic of the Philippines pertaining to good governance. Okay? So, first and foremost, kung makikita ninyo ito, ang dami na, kompleto na yan dyan sa, no? So, there's a lot of things that we're going to talk about ngayon, Uh, sa mga panahon ngayon, ang daming nangyayari. Now, this one, the first one, let's about the good governance. Kasi, lahat ito ay under the principle of the good governance, no? If you will notice, no, kung mapapansin niyo. So, nakalagay dito that the good governance and social responsibility. So, ito ay mga konsepto which is related to the performance of institution and businesses. All right? So, that's why we have what we call as the good governance, no? So, good governance isa siyang set of principle. So, this is a set of principles that ensure, no, that institutions are effective and accountable. So, makikita nyo dyan sa meron tayong diagram dito, no? Yung pinaka-center niya dyan is good governance, right? Now, aside from the good governance, social responsibility naman, it's a this is a set of principle, no? A set of practices, guys, that ensures businesses are ethical and sustainable, right? So that's why we included social responsibility. So these two are different set of principles and practices, no? Good governance and social responsibility. So kanina napag-usapan natin that good governance is considered to be as a set of principle, and social responsibility, these are set of practices, no? Itong social responsibility kasi ini-ensure nito na yung mga institution or businesses are ethically sustainable, no? They must be or they must follow a set of norms, no? A set of norms, the rule of law. All right? Kaya meron tayong set of practices under social responsibility which is regulated by the rule of law here in the Philippines, right? So ayan, maganda yung pag-uusapan natin na to, no? So, ang tanong dito, what is good governance, no? Kasi sa Tagalog ang tawag diyan, guys, mabuting pamamahala. Ano ba yung tinatawag nating mabuting pamamahala? So itong mabuting pamamahala na ito ay nahahati, no? Unang-una, yung transparency, no? Nandiyan yung transparency, tingnan niyo. So under the transparency, the government and the private organizations should be transparent about their policies and decision-making processes. Now, under this transparency, kamukha ng issue ngayon, no, yung kay Vice President Sara Duterte, no? Transparency is what they call that, yung transparency ay allotted, no? Its meanings are allotted doon sa what we call that, pertaining to the acts, no? Acts in which involved dito yung the interest of the nation, the state or the nation at large. If those acts must be kept secretly, no? Kung hindi sila kailangang i-divulge, no? Pagsasabi, dapat it must be kept confidentially, no? So you have an idea na already, no? Hindi naman lahat ng transparent, no? Transparency lahat ibibigay mo na, isasabihin mo na. But under the law, no? Yes, the government must be transparent. But the country cannot be in a form of transparent if it involves safety and security. You know? Kaya itong confidential fund na sinasabi natin, ano, na sinasabi nila, ay there is a what? Unexplained, no, na mga unexplained expenses, fictitious name. But the thing, guys, the reason why it looks like that is because it's confidential. So kaya nga siya confidential from the word confidential. That's why it's called as confidential fund, no? And not only the office of the vice president has a confidential fund, even the office of the president and other agencies, they have this confidential fund, no? And from the word itself, it's confidential because this confidential fund is used in a manner to protect the state, no? To protect the country, no? Kaya confidential siya. Mga intelligence, no? Mga confidential funds, intelligence funds. So ito ay ginagamit to protect the country. And why are you going to divulge it there in the House of Representatives, no? So kaya nga sa akin, it's very irrelevant, no, to look at that certain issue. It's very irrelevant. All right? Kasi what is happening is that they're focusing only to the Vice President Sara Duterte. There are a lot of agencies, no, including the office of the including the office of the president, which has an intelligence fund, no. Okay, so that's a big problem, no. And another thing, guys, yung Commission on Audit ay hindi pa tapos pala sa what they call that pagre-review. They're not yet finished, no, to review the what you call as the confidential fund. So anong nangyari dito, na preempt, no, i-preempt, na preempt tuloy yung issue, right? So napangunahan ng House of Representatives. We don't know if there is a graft and corruption dahil hindi pa tapos yung i-investiga ng COA. But understood, guys? So that's a really big problem. Now, another thing is that guys, under that transparency, no? So kamukha nga niyan kinabukasan, bukas, no? Today is January 12 eh. So bukas, January 13, Iglesia ni Cristo, rally, no? So rally na bukas. So kaya magkakaroon na rally ang Iglesia ni Cristo is because they want to stand by the decision of the president, no, Marcos Jr., na i-atras na yung impeachment cases against Vice President Sara Duterte. Alright, so yun yung mangyayari. So tingnan natin bukas kung anong mangyayari January 13, no? So yan, transparency. Sa transparency kasi guys, so yan, kumukha ng akap, no? Ano ba akap? Yung akap na ibinibigay ngayon, no? Dami tayong nabalitaan diyan. Meron pang 777, merong 7 million sa akap, 7 million sa AIX, at 7 million dun sa ayuda, no? And those three, 777, mapupunta pala yan sa isang congressman. If you are going to join, no, the ano ba to, yung kanilang gustong mangyari. Alright, so yan yun, no? So actually the bottom line here is lahat naman gustong makatulong. Doon naman lahat pupunta yan Kaso nga lang dito nagkakaroon ng timbangan. There's a balance, no? Ano ba ang mas mabuti? Ano ba ang nakakasama? So doon magkakaroon ng big difference, no? So we will discuss that later on. So pinapaano ko lang sa inyo guys yung mga summary nitong good governance, ano? Especially with this transparency, no? Transparency. Okay, so another thing is that itong rule of law, that the law should be impartial. Pag sinabi natin impartial guys, dapat patas, no? Fair, alright? Impartial and enforced consistently, especially with regard to human rights, no? Yan yung rule of law. Alright, so this topics na diniscuss ko sa inyo ay we will discuss that, no, one by one sa iba't iba nating videos, right? Sa iba pa nating video. So ayun. So sa transparency kasi ang dahil pa nating sarap i-discuss, no? So kaya dito maglalaban if confidential funds tapos transparency from the word itself, no? From the word itself kasi it's confidential, no? Paano mo siya ibabangga doon sa transparency? Alright? Okay. Now itong rule of law, no? Nung panahon ni former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, ang daming napatay ng mga constituent which are drug related, no? They are drug related or involved in drugs, no? All right, so there is 1,000, but ako I support that Oplan Tokhang kasi nabawasan yung mga masasamang tao talaga. All right, it's just it looks like a black plague, no, for those drug lords, pushers and addicts, no? So I support the Oplan Tokhang, right? So yun, under the rule of law. So binigyan naman sila, no, with human rights, no? So why they are given that right? Kasi yung ibang nahuli inire-rehab pa, guys. Mayroon pang rehabilitation, kaya napuno yung yung rehabilitation kasi if you want to surrender, you can surrender yourself and then you will be rehabilitated. Yun, no? So that's and that's the truth. So walang nilabag yung former presidency, no, ni Tatay Digong. Then we will tackle that seriously on the other videos. The next one is accountability. So accountability pertains to the institutions, no, that institutions should be held accountable for their actions. So lahat ng institution dyan ay accountable for their action. Alright? Kaso ngayon, daming problema, no? unang-una ko na ano nun yung DPWH, no guys, na ano yun, yung binagyo yung Bicol, yung flood project. So there is a billion of pesos pertaining to the flood projects, but what happened? Ano nangyari doon, ano? Ano nangyari doon sa mga proyekto na yun? Billions of pesos. Pero ang daming namatay, no? From 2023 to 2024, there's a billions of project told to us by Senator Joel Villanueva, diba? So ang dami. So another thing is that yung PhilHealth, no? Yung PhilHealth which is 96 billion pesos, no? 96 billion pesos. Gustong ibalik sa treasury, di ba? Sa treasury, guys. So they are going to, what you call that, realign dun sa mga other projects. So kaya nga ako naisip ko nga, bakit niya ibabalik sa National Treasury? Dapat kung ganun, wala bang mambabatas na makapag-iisip na, kasi sa bilyong piso na pondo ng PhilHealth, dapat gawin ano na lang. Number 1, libre ang ospital sa mga mahihirap, no? Dapat ganun. So siguro mga one time, no, meron ako naiisip, gumagawa ako ng plataforma, ng my own platform. If I am going to be in power as a president, what are you going to do? Yun ang mga inaano natin. Kaso ngayon, yung public service ngayon parang na disregard, no, na neglect yung social services ngayon sa budget natin na ipasa. Na what they call that, na disregard yung education, yung social service, no? Parang nabaliwala. Kaya isipan na naisip ko no? Na yung palang 777 na yan, na binanggit ni Mayor, what's that? Benji, no? Manggalong, no? Of Baguio City. Na yun pala ay, guys, binibigay pala yun sa mga congressmen and senators, no? If you are allied, no? Why not? So that will be used for political consumption, ano? Hindi na maganda yun. Dapat, if that is the point to help the downtrodden, dapat binibigay yun sa DSWD, no? For social service, no? Dapat yun ay binibigay sa DSWD. Diba, guys? No? Billion piso yun dapat binibigay nila sa DSWD, at ang DSWD sila ang bahalang mag-allocate doon sa mga nararapat na mabigyan, no, itong AKAP at AIX. Pero yung nangyayari, ito palang AIX na to, no, AIX, AKAP ay binibigay sa mga mambabatas at sila ang magpababa sa mga tao, which is very very wrong. Kasi we have an agency, DSWD, na dapat yun ang dun binibigay yung pondo, hindi sa mga senators or congressmen. In which, matagal ng practice to, no, guys? Matagal na nilang pinapractice pala yan. Another thing is, dahil natin pag-uusapan, no, the accountability, yes, then another one, yung isa pa pala, no, kasi si Ralph Recto ang no, sa finance, no, yung PDIC nga pala, no, yung PDIC, guys, that is 115 billion pesos na kinuha sa PDIC, no, we've read in the newspapers, sa YouTube, sa media, lahat ang dami, no, so i-realign din yun, no? Ilalagay sa mga projects and programs and projects, no? So nagkaganon. So we are also waiting for the ROI, the return of investments of the Maharlika Fund, no? Kung saan napondohan to ng 75 billion, no? mula doon sa Land Bank. Land Bank 50 billion pesos at doon sa DBP 25 billion pesos. So it's 75 billion. Grabe, no? So ang daming mga ano, no? Meron pa pala yung ano, ang Bangko Sentral, no? Yung ginto niya ron, na ibenta rin pala ron yung mga ginto. Then nangutang pa tayo sa World Bank, no? Sa World Bank ng 20 plus billion pesos, no? Grabe. So what's happening to the mukhang nagkakawindang-windang yung ating ano, no? Government regarding financing, no? Kaya pala yung what you call that, yung IMF, no, International Monetary Fund, ay nagsabi, napanood ko sa isang vlog dito sa YouTube, no, na kailangan magdagdag ng pera ang Pilipinas doon sa Land Bank at DBP. Yun, kailangan. So what do you meant by that? So parang ang naisip no, ang naisip natin noon is that yung capability ng Pilipinas para magbayad ng utang medyo parang kinakapos, no? Parang kinakapos pa sa lahat ng mga bilyong pisong na ilabas. So parang kinakapos pa ang bansa natin in terms of payment, no? Okay. So kaya nagbabala yung IMF na we must put a lot of money doon sa dalawang bangko pa na yun, no? Kasi doon yata kinukuha yung payment, ano? Kasi yung DBP, that is for a bank para sa infrastructure projects, no? Infrastructure project, yung DBP, right? Yung Land Bank naman, yan ay mga used para sa payment sa mga services ng government employee. Alright, so yun. So another thing is that, yan, dami natin pinag-usapan, responsiveness. So, responsiveness, no? So the institution should be able to serve the needs of all stakeholders in a reasonable time frame. Yan, time frame. Alam nyo guys, the most powerful thing that the government can do is that to empower, no? To empower the agricultural sector. Yun, no? Now aside from empowering it, no, dun magiging sustainable na tayo in terms of food, no? Kung kaya nating mapatibay ang agrikultura, kaso nawala yung ano natin sa agriculture, no? Doon tayo nagka-problema. So ngayon hindi nahawakan ng maganda ang agriculture hanggang ngayon, ano? So kaya nga dapat inayos na ni Tatay Digong yung mga infrastructure nung nakaraan, ano? Meron pa tayong mega airport, hindi natin alam kung matutuloy pa yon, ano? Meron pa tayong subway, ano na kaya nangyayari? May mga LRT tayo, no? Na nakikita naman natin, kaso nga lang parang hindi pa natutuloy, putol-putol, no? Alright, sana matuloy yung mga infrastructures na yan. Kaya nga akala ko kasi kailangan mo yung mga kapital mo, kamukha yan, mga fixtures, no? Mga infrastructure, roads and bridges, kailangan maayos yan para sa pagpapadala ng mga kalakal ng ating mga magsasaka, no? To empower agriculture. So yun ang ine-expect natin, kaso nga lang sana wag maudlot, ano? And then after nun, akala ko ngayon itong time na to mai-empower yung what they call that, yung agriculture, kasi ganda niyan eh. So naumpisahan na yung sa panahon ni President Duterte, naumpisahan na yung infrastructure, no? Kung saan doon ilalagay, yun ang magdadala ng mga produkto mula sa kanayunan papuntang kalungsuran, no? At ngayon pagpupo niya ni President Marcos Jr., akala ko rin na ma-empower yung agriculture. Magkakaroon ng mga research and development, magkakaroon ng mga ways, no? Mapapaayos yung mga facility in agriculture, no? So wala, it's very weak pa rin, napapansin natin mga facility, no? Dapat yun ang inuna, mga facility. Kasi nandiyan yung infrastructure na magdadala yung mga facility dapat, no? Alright, then efficiency. So institutions should use resources wisely and sustainably. Alright, ito yun. So efficiency. If not efficient, kahit man lang effective, ano? So ito, ang ganda pag-usapan ito na sa mga susunod nating topic, no? Sa susunod nating mga video, i-discuss natin yan isa-isa. Now another thing is that those are the good governance, no? Yung pinaka ng good governance. Meron pa dito. So from transparency, being transparent, then following the rule of law, then accountability, or being accountable, then being responsive, no, or responsiveness, then efficiency. So you will also see here the consensus oriented. So when we talk about consensus oriented, everyone is in an agreement. We agree towards one vision and mission, no, for growth and development, right? Kaya ang Pilipinas, grow lang ng grow, no? Walang development. Sana sa susunod, mga panahon, magkaroon na tayo ng development. No? Kaso naudlot na naman. Then here we also have equitable and inclusive. Alright? So, ito, pag sinabi natin equitable, mean to say, yung benefit ay nararapat sa bawat isa sa atin. Kaya nga sinasabi ko, sana ang daming pera no, na nakalap, no? Bakit kaya yung mga senador at yung congressmen dapat mag-propose kayo magkaroon ng isang ospital para sa mahihirap, yung wala nang babayaran, no? Yung wala nang babayaran. Total, lahat naman kami naguhulog sa PhilHealth, no? Sa PhilHealth. Kahit ngayon, kahit walang budget, zero budget ang PhilHealth ngayon, kinakaltasan pa rin kami sa PhilHealth. So why not give us, kaming mga downtrodden, ng ospital which is libre? Kamukha sa mga welfare state, no? Pwede ba? Sa welfare state kasi ganda, no? Talagang libre ang lahat. Libre ang ospital, libre edukasyon. Kung kaya natin magkaroon ng free education, why not subsidize a free hospital? No, mapapagaang ang what we call that, ang buhay ng mamamayan if the government, no, is wisely spending its finances, especially subsidizing the what they call that, the basic necessity, no, ng mga taong mahihirap na katulad namin. Alright? So yun, subsidize. The government can subsidize the fuel, yung mga langis, kaya nyo mag-subsidize dyan. Kaya nyo ring mag-subsidize dyan para yung pagkain ng naming mga mahihirap ay hindi tumaas, no? Kamukha ng paglalaan ng pondo, ng buffer, no? Ibig sabihin parang dapat may buffer zone kayo na if, for example, yung halimbawa, yung baboy, yung 1 kilo ng baboy, for example, is 320 pesos, no? Ngayon, maglalagay kayo doon ng buffer zone, no? For example, nagmahal ang baboy, no? Ngayon, kailangan maibenta ang baboy sa market ng 400 pesos per kilo. Dapat, ang bibilin pa rin ng mga mamamayan ay 320 pesos. Yung sobra na babayaran dapat namin, which is 80 pesos, that is already subsidized na ninyo ng government, no? So 320 from us and you subsidize 80 pesos. for 400 per kilo, if that will come.